from the massive. Remember, if you like this video, press the like button so more people can get this review. So, today we're reviewing Saints Row 3 on the Saints Row 4. Didn't get off to a very good start with this review. Well, actually, I wasn't too far off. A lot of people are complaining that Saints Row 4 is too close to Saints Row 3, its predecessor, that it feels like Saints Row 3 with some super cheats tacked on. Like the old school stuff that you do, you'd go to Cheat Code Central, write down all your cheats on a sheet of paper, then go play your game. Those are pretty fun days, and you know what? This game's pretty fun. I mean, it's similar to Saints Row 3, sure, but at the same time, it is extremely far away from the Saints Row 3 experience. The changes that are here, though, are immense. It's basically a mishmash of every science fiction movie and video game out there. The main change being the superpowers. Originally, Saints Row 4 was designed to be DLC for Saints Row 3. Then they decided to expand on it and make it a big game. You play as the President of the United States, the boss from the previous Saints Row games, who rose through the ranks as a street gang leader of the 3rd Street Saints, eventually becoming president, which is where you start the game in Saints Row the 4th. Shit! Unfortunately, you don't get to play as the president very much. You don't get to see the effects of what the 3rd Street Saints being in charge has done to America or anything like that, which I thought would have been really, really cool, and that's what I was looking forward to. In any case, just after you step into the president's shoes, an alien attack happens, a complete invasion. Most of Saints Row 4 takes place in this simulation, and this grants you immense superpowers, which can be expounded upon. You collect these data clusters within the simulation, you can disrupt the code of it, and things just get crazy. It looks like video game glitches, in fact. It stands to reason that there's a lot of glitches in Saints Row 4, but they're not going to fix them, and you don't notice them, because that's just the spirit of the game. It's weird, it's crazy, and it just works. Unless you're too uptight to, handle it. I mean, this is an era where video games and their fans and their critics have become so serious, with all the war games being there's a nuclear bomb going off in the middle of the most densely populated city of America, and that will shut down America's infrastructure, and then you'll have to save the world from the crime that ensues of the streets of America, and then there's a deadly virus that will destroy the ranks and file of your military people, and now let's talk about the meat of any open world game, the side missions. There are a lot, but not as many as I would like. That's probably just because I have so much fun playing with them. You do get a decent amount. As for what some of the side missions actually are, Genki returns with a mode called Genki's Mom, which is mind over murder, and you gotta use your telekinesis power to pick people up and throw them to these holes with silhouettes of people in them, and then they just blow up into confetti. That gives you points. You pick up cars, do the same thing, Genki heads, stuff like that, and then you got another Mech Mayhem, which is just the same as Tank Mayhem, where you take your tank or robotic power suit and you destroy as much as possible. People, lampposts, trash cans, vehicles, anything and everything in the amount of time you have to rack up as many points to get gold and silver. If you think that's crazy, then there's another side quest that you can take where you just throw yourself in the traffic, see how far you can tumble, rack up all kinds of money. And there's other side quests where you go into simulations. One is reminiscent of Temple Run, and others where you just have to land in the middle of the platforms, which is surprisingly challenging. But it's not all side quests. The campaign is chock full of interesting characters and gags and references to every science fiction game, book, and movie out there.
Okay, now things are a little different. Let's first shoot out the light.
Masha, that light has a family.
And then take out the guard.
This isn't a game that takes itself too seriously. I mean, your vice president is Keith David.
I'm surprised how well folks are holding up. Me? I'm freaking the fuck out inside. Don't tell anyone, though.
As said earlier, the game borrows from a lot of different games in the genre. One of them being Mass Effect 2. You have to rescue numerous squad mates in Saints Row 4, and each squad mate has their own loyalty missions, a la Mass Effect 2. Now, the missions in which you actually rescue your squad mates are gold. They're one of the best parts of the game, bar none. The diversity is exquisite. One rescue mission, you're in a side-scrolling beat-em-up, kind of like Double Dragons, and it pulls off that old-school effect perfect, even the voices.
Behind you! Johnny! Help! Ooh! Ha 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 ha! Ow! Johnny! Help! You want her? Come get her!
Another mission, you're fighting the giant soda can on the cover, and it's awesome. I was hoping that soda can on the cover would be in the game, and it is in the game, and it's glorious. And then there's missions that make parodies of Tron and text adventure games. Some of them even have throwbacks to the old Saints Row titles, like Saints Row 2, which will be a welcome addition to fans of the earlier games in the series. And there's also a really awesome parody of Metal Gear Solid. So at times it may feel like Saints Row 3.5, and graphically there isn't a huge improvement from the previous title. And no, this isn't Grand Theft Auto 5, it's not the most realistic game out there, but you know what, you got Grand Theft Auto 5 for that, and I'll be playing them both, because I like my fun to come in different flavors. You got your realism, and, well, then you got your tutti frutti. Now me, I like to look at the positives in every game. Saints Row 4, it's got mechs, it's got explosions, it's got superpowers. If you want fun, even for a rental, I'd suggest picking up Saints Row 4.
Welcome to Superpower Fight Club!